CRED is one of the best applications on the app market that offers great rewards to pay your bills through the app. If you're a regular credit card user and pay bills through any other app, you can use CRED to earn great rewards. And recently CRED was valued at $2.2 billion in April 2021 and became the 6th startup to turn unicorn this year. But do you know the success story behind it? You know what happened in 2020? CRED only earned 52 lakh rupees, but at the same time, the expense of the company was 386 crore rupees. That is massive. And for every rupee of the revenue that it generated, they spent 727 rupees, which is a massive cash burn. That means for every 727 rupees that they are expending, they are earning 1 rupee from it. While CRED is burning investors' money to sustain operations, investors see excellent potential in this company's future. What was there in this company that they saw? CRED recently received a funding of $215 million, which took actually CRED to a valuation of $2.2 billion. Now, how did CRED keep on burning investors' money and at the same time investors saw great potential in CRED? What was this brilliant business model that kept investors keep investing in CRED? So, what did CRED do such brilliant things that nobody else has done it? So let's break it down. So basically, what CRED's founder Kunal Shah did was focus on 3 main key values that he wanted these values to be attached to his company. So the first thing that he did was building experience, building a simple, super clean UX UI. Now what this experience does is it allows people to have seamless transactions, seamless experience, very quick, fast payment of bills. So that doesn't lead to a really good big problem, because everything people want is fast nowadays, want really smooth. Everything wants to be smooth and fast, and that is what Kunal Shah basically focused on. You have to keep this thing in mind, that experience is something that people are constantly looking for. They want experience that they can remember, good experience that they can remember from day-to-day lives, right? So what basically experience does is you don't remember people or you don't remember places. Rather, you remember the experience you had with that particular person or that particular place. That is how you remember stuff. You remember the experience you had with that something and not remembering that something. So that is what Kunal Shah's main focus is on, building a really good experience. Like for example, if I'm a student, we all remember our childhood days, right? We had so, beautiful memories of it. We had so much fun, good experience, bad experience, but an overall a positive approach, right? But take an example of a student who's been bullied all his childhood. He'd be saying that what is so nostalgic or what is so good about having those childhood memories? He wants to forget all those experiences. Rather than we'll be, always remembering those stuff, while that particular student or that particular child will always be thinking that what is so nostalgic or what is the good memories that you are talking about. That is what the same thing Kunal Shah wants to, incorporate in CRED. He wants to have good experience. People should have good experience with CRED. That is how they will remember CRED for a long time. The second point that he focuses on is making people habitual to his app, that is CRED. Making people so much habitual that it becomes a day-to-day life, a part of their day-to-day life basically. And what habits does is it builds as you do things repeatedly. That's what actually habits are, right? You do things repeatedly, and doing things repeatedly does two major things in your life. One is build confidence, second is build trust with that particular thing that you're doing. And that is what Kunal Shah focuses on, building trust using habits. he's making people so habitual to paying credit card bills that he's creating a community of people who trust each other, who are the people who are trustworthy. You can trust those people now. That is what Kunal Shah is so focused on. For example, that is what Jio did when he launched in. What Jio did was, at that time they launched and they made 1 GB free data, like 1 GB per day free. And I remember we had used to have so big lines to get the Jio SIM. And what that particular thing did is, at that time 50 MB, even a 50 MB, 100 MB a day was a really huge big deal. But after launching Jio, even using 1 GB is not a big deal now. What it made was revolutionary, because it made India from a high cost internet service service usage to one of the lowest countries to have lowest price for internet. That is how revolutionary it did. Now even 1 GB per day is not a big deal, but what Jio did was making us habitual to using that. That is what CRED is also going on. It is first making a huge user base and making them habitual to using CRED. And the third thing that is focusing on is rewarding the good. In our particular society, what we are focusing on is punishing the bad rather than rewarding the good. What it does is it makes the good think out of fear that if we do bad, we'll get punished. But rather what CRED's founder Kunal Shah wants to do is rewarding the good. Just leave the filter out the bad people and reward the good. What will happen because of that is the bad will want to convert into good, doing good, because people are not basically bad. People are not good or bad, but the things they do are good and bad. So in terms of credit card bills, people who have a low credit score, that is they don't pay their bills on time, they don't return their money, are basically bad in this sense. So what CRED wants to do is reward people for doing good. So what this will do is, people who are bad will want to get that reward, and in terms to get that reward, they'll do good things. And that is how he wants to build a community around it. So basically these three things are what CRED is actually all about. These three main values that CRED is linked to. If I think about CRED, I think these three things first. That is experience, seamless experience. Second is making habitual to people using credit card, paying credit card bills using CRED. And third thing is rewarding the good. That is what CRED is all about.